Welcome back to my channel. So in the previous three videos, we have covered ABAP Cloud Foundations, ADT tools, then RAP architectures. So in case if you have missed that video, kindly watch those and come back here. This is going to be the fourth video. Here we are going to cover a little bit advanced concepts like draft handling, testability, extensibility, and so on. So let's get started. So first of all, what is draft handling? So before we see the draft handling, let's see how does what is the difference between RESTful architectures and draft? Why we are comparing the draft to the RESTful architecture? First, we'll talk about the RESTful architecture. Basically, this we pretty much aware of it, right? We are using a OData, basically one kind of RESTful architecture, which follows a RESTful way of handling the data. Correct. So we can create, read, update, delete, and we can access the data, or maybe we can access the entity as a resource. Basically, in data model we call it as an entity, right? If a sales order is there, it's one of the entity. But in the OData way, or maybe in the RESTful architecture way, we call this as a resource. Okay, you can access this particular entity as a resource. Okay. Yes. So why this we are comparing this with the draft? Okay, so there is a reason for that. So here you could see the RESTful avoids problematic server stickiness. So this is a very, very important server stickiness by introducing a stateless communication. Okay, so RESTful basically avoid a server stickiness, which means if you request if you just send a GET request to a sales order header, okay, it will return you some data. After few seconds, you are sending the similar kind of a GET request to the sales order header. It will send you the data. But if you think about, there is any relation between these two requests, no, right? Because these two requests are independent. Each one doesn't know other one, right? We are not storing any request related information in the backend. If you ask for the sales order data, so server will give you the sales order data. That's it. We are not store anything this request details from the client, okay, in the server side. So basically the RESTful architecture will avoid this server stickiness by default, okay, which follows a stateless communication. That's we call it as a stateless communication. But what is draft, right? So if you're opening the Gmail and if you're or Outlook, so you are trying to write a mail to a manager. So what would happen after some time when you stops? It will be in the draft folder, right? So likewise, if you try to create some sales order data, you open your sales order app and you try to create a click on the create button, and you will have a new UI with a set of inputs, and you're providing the inputs. And let's say you went for a coffee and you come back, and what would happen now? Meanwhile this page gets reloaded or some network issue, whatever you have entered would goes off, correct? So this is the problem we were facing with the traditional UI applications. Uh, but this could be solved with the help of the draft, right? So whatever you enter, okay, if it gets stored somewhere, and the next time when you open it, and this will give you from the give you the resume from the data level. So but here is the problem: if you are storing something in the backend side, okay, in the server side, then it will become a stateful application. Okay, so this is stateless application, and the draft is by default a stateful application. You need to store the user data in the backend, so that in later if you're coming back, it needs to be provided back. Okay, so this is the main problem. Okay, then how in the RAP draft handling is implemented? Okay, and how it help us create a how it help us to improve the user experience of any applications, right? So we will be saying that how it solves in a minute. Okay, but before that, if you want more details about the draft bot architecture level and everything, you can check this video. It has a very detailed explanation, okay, with step by step. So you will get an idea. It might not basically it will help you to understand how draft works in the backend side. Okay, so even though like if you currently the draft handling is managed with a framework, but it's good to know about these details, right? Okay, so we know that RESTful architecture is basically a stateless, and draft is basically a stateful applications. And how draft implements a draft handling by combining this. So that we will see in a minute. Second thing is draft purges the state devices independently in a non-process relevant way. Okay, so first of all, why we need to store the information, right? So it's not only for same system, it's for the multi-device support as well. So if our application running in the cloud, I should be able to open in laptop or desktop or maybe the tablet or even mobile, correct? And it's responsible to provide the data without any loss, right? Even in the connection timeout, whatever I was talking about earlier, right? So this draft handling will take care of this part very clearly, right? And as I mentioned, RESTful makes the draft available as a addressable resource. So draft handling, we will have something called basically two things. Okay, one is active entities and another is the draft entities. So all our data will be stored in the draft entity, and which is again can be called as addressable resources. So still here we are using the RESTful because we are not going to use any any sessions or storing anything in the backend server side. Because this is a cloud. This is not follows the cloud principles at all. If your application running in the cloud, then you don't have any idea. So which server is handling your application, the current request is. So that's a pretty pretty difficult part to identify. So that's why it should not be a dependent to any server part. Okay, your server could be anything, nothing should be showed in the server part basically, right? So so what we know that what is transactional buffer, right? We have seen this already. What they call it as a draft is like it's a persistent transactional buffer, which means they store this information in the DB, okay, in one of the DB, and whenever user needs it, they want to receive it back, then we just take the data from the DB and we are sending it. It's not. Okay, so draft handling, what is the stateful applications with stateless communication protocol? So let's compare the old applications and draft enabled applications. So here is a stateless transactional apps without draft. Okay, draft was not enabled here. So what would happen when you're trying to edit something, like for example, a sales order, you want to change some columns, okay? When you try to edit it, what would happen is like until you click on save, your data is not guaranteed, correct? If something goes off and whatever you edited would really goes off, right? So that is the main drawback, right, that I have mentioned it. Okay, this is without draft basically. Okay, so also there is a one more user experiences will be get impacted here is no real-time feedback, okay, such as messages or feature control until we save its ticket, right? I'm just editing something, and whatever I'm editing, it's not a right it's not a right input. Okay, it could be a error as well, right? So when do I know this error? This feedback will be given to me when I click on save, because that time only the backend call will get triggered, correct? So this is one kind of a user experiences issue, okay, with that stateless transactional applications without draft. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's come to this draft enabled applications part here. So you will have if your user is trying to click on edit, what would happen is there is a delta changes. We call this as a delta changes that will immediately get triggered and saved to the draft database tables, not active database tables, draft database tables. Okay, so likewise here the save will trigger and it will be stored in the draft database tables. Okay, so finally when you click on save button, what would happen? Whatever you stored this partial results in the draft tables will get pushed to the real active tables. That's what it's happening in the backend side. Okay, so what are the benefits? You would get an immediate feedback also, like whenever we trigger a save to the basically even it is a draft instance also, your determinations, your validations will get triggered. Okay, so that if something you are entering a wrong input, it would provide a result back to you immediately. So you will get to know like it even though you don't need to wait for until clicking the save button. Okay, because this is what every time the backend call is triggered, this trigger the backend call, this trigger the backend call, and every time your feedback, I mean the determinations and validations, all these logics will get executed and the feedback will get immediated to the UI, right? Also this draft automatically supports a data loss prevention, correct? So this doesn't guarantee our data, but this supports a data loss, right? So anyway, whatever you are entering, it will be stored in the DB. And if I switch to the different device like tablets or something else, like I would be easily get those data as well, correct? So let's talk about the extensibility. It's a new way of enhancements, and yeah, let's see what are the things all there here. So first of all, they are calling this as a modification-free extension. Okay, why they are calling this as a modification-free? Basically, you are not touching, you are not modifying any standard code at all here, right? So basically, you are not modifying at all. Okay, modifying the core part at all. You are just trying to built on top of that your logic. So you are extending it. That's why it is called as a extensibility, right? So make it clear, they call it as extensibility, even they are not calling it as a enhancements at all. So you would be using these enhancements, modifications, and this thing in the on-premise system, right? But here we mostly call it as a extensibility. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, the RAP extension points we call, there's a lot of extension points provided by the SAP, okay, in a standard way. So with that, you can able to extend your custom logic. Okay, for example, if some standard BO is there, for example, sales order, okay, or service order or anything. Okay, so this service order, okay, can be extended with two or more columns or custom columns. Then you can go ahead with data model extension. So data model extension means you have the CDS already, right? And you want to extend couple of columns in the CDS view. So you can use this data. There is a separate extension points will be provided by the RAP. So we will have to use that particular extension point only. We should not touch other things. So that is the way we have to follow in the extensibility. Okay. Likewise, Vivo behavior extension. For example, for a service order, I want to add a new action. Okay, for a standard service order application, right? I want to add one more validations. Right, I want to add a new column, and this column should be determined. Okay, I need to use a determination for my new columns. So all these behaviors can be implemented in this Vivo behavior extension. Okay, again, there is a extension points will be provided. We have to touch only the extension points. We cannot change anything other than. Okay, there are certain step-by-step guides you need to follow. It's a little bit tricky because there is a lot of CDS views, BVs will be there, and you need to. It will be a little tricky to understand the flow. But if you understand one or two times, then it will be easy to do the extensibility very quickly. But yeah. So then third thing is BO node extension. What is BO node? Let's say I have the service order items, and I want to add one more item to the service order items entity. Okay, so this is also possible with the BO node because we are extending the node. Okay, one more entity. Okay, that can be done with the BO node extension. Service definition extension. For example, you extend the node, but you need to expose this new node C view to the your UI application or maybe API, right? So in that particular case, you need to extend the service definition as well, right? Because service definition, if you don't put any entity in the service definition level, it will not be exposed to the UI or API side. Okay, third-party system cannot be able to access that. So in order to do that, you need to extend the standard service definition in this case, right? Because you have enhanced the BO node, and you should be exposed that particular new entity to the UI, right? Yeah. So yeah, if you see here, it's a pretty straightforward. So you will implement the data model and behavior implementation in the RAP BVOs, right? And you can do the extension part. And one more important thing is there is something called RAP BVO interface. It's kind of a object-oriented programming interface, we can call that way. So when we are doing extensibility, we have to do via this interface. That's basically a standard way. It does not have any implementation. Okay, it's basically similar to maybe you can compare with the projection view as well. Like, but interface, it's not even having any implementation at all. You cannot implement anything. You just define whatever you are going to extend it. Then with that you can do it. Okay, there is another way also we can do it. For example, like without interface BO, we can do extend it directly on the standard BOs, but that is not recommended at all. We have to always do it via the BO interface. With this way, we can check what all the things can be extended to, because here they have SAP clearly defined. For if a service order is there, here in this RAP BO interface, they would have defined for all the things, whether what can be defined, create, update, delete can be extended or not, or probably like what are the validation, you can extend the validation or not, you can add an action or not. So this give you a rough idea about what could be extended, what could not be extended. Okay. Then service projection. In the service projection also, like you can do the extension like a BO project. I mean, talking about the projection layer, not base BOs or projection layer also you can do it. So this is specifically for a certain applications or UI. This will, if you are doing that, it will be affected by all the service layers. Okay, so if you want to do a specific service layer, you can extend it here. Okay, and as I mentioned, the service definition, right? This extension can also be possible. Then then service binding will help you to expose the data to the outside world, basically, right? Yeah, so this extensibility a big topic actually. Maybe I just give a short overview about it. Yeah, if we get a chance, let's say it in a separate video. Okay. So let's talk about the testability part. So why do we need to test our functionality? Okay. So I would recommend, let's say if you are creating a product in SAP, the strong recommendation would be at least you need to create a unit testing. A unit, at least you need to create it in your behavior part, base behavior sites. Okay. So So in case if something you are changing it quickly and you don't want to face any, you don't want to make any big issues is because it might affect the core functionality also. So when you have a unit testing, it will clear if you make change something, and it will give you clearly the feedback about whether it is a right change or not. Okay, whether it affects the existing code or not. To avoid existing code affect, you should write a unit testing as a base. But if you get a chance, you can write a BO test also, and also service level test. It's basically simulating the OData service, right? How get call, post call, everything can be simulated within the ABAP side itself. Okay, so the modern RAP framework can able to provide all this A unit uh, all this A unit framework. For example, like they call it as test double framework. Okay, which is very helpful to mock a data. You can mock ABAP classes, you can mock even function models, you can mock select queries. Sorry, I mean select query means you can mock the data, like SQL PDF. You can mock the function model, even the CDS also you can mock it, right? And let a lot of things you can mock it with this TDF. It's a powerful framework in the A unit part. Okay, but yeah, but if you have this unit for your application, because most of the time maybe probably in the startup side, like we wouldn't get a chance to write a unit spot due to the tight deadlines, but for at least for the products, it will definitely need it. That's why if you see the SAP's any standard classes, they definitely have, they follow us, the A unit. Yeah, so troubleshooting, okay, so troubleshooting part is like, it's mostly like it will be really helpful, like if you want to find out the problem quickly. Okay, for example, I use very rarely this browser developer tools, right? If it is a UI application or maybe a standard app in the UI, and I would use this inspect, and I can easily find out the what is the service it is getting called, or what is the CView it is getting called. I can get a quick understanding about what services, what data services they were using, right? So that's a quick thing I use it to do if it is a standard application. But most of the standard applications will be OData based, but some are not. Okay, so in that particular case, that will be really tricky. But yeah, nowadays I think most of this, if you're in S4HANA cloud or maybe a private edition or public edition, even the latest S4HANA on-premise system also having the UI application based on the OData services. So this will be really helpful. Browser developer tools is really powerful here. Okay, then above crash trees is something, it's very helpful to identify where the exact problem occurs. Okay, so whether if you are not sure the problem is coming from OData side, or maybe some other custom development, or maybe some other or maybe a database side, or maybe a gateway client side. So it's a pretty very simple tool. We can use it, and you will get all the traces, right? Wherever the flow is going, you can easily identify, and you can it will helpful to find out the problem also quickly. I use this very long back, but yeah, let's try to use it in a separate video. We'll see this. It's very simple actually. And ADT feed reader. So ADT feed reader is, we know very well. Okay, it's basically it's something like this. Actually, I'm not sure you are able to see this, but there's a feed reader. You will it have the aggregation of all the runtime error, or gateway error, or any kind of a unexpected errors, right? It will collect it and it will show you clearly, right? So this is really helpful. If you're not sure a code expects, or if you're not see the output in the UI, or if it doesn't give any proper response, then we can quickly look at this feed reader. It will tell you what is the real problem is, and it will tell you whether it's a runtime error or gateway error or everything. Okay, ABAP debugger, is when you guys might already know about it, so there is nothing new in this year. It will really helpful to debug the exact variables or internal tables or anything to see the value what is there. So it will help us to identify those issues. ABAP profiling, I'm not sure what is this exactly, but let me check this and get back. Even I'm not sure about dynamic log points. This is something seems supported in on-premise. I never used it. Okay, and CDS, there are a lot of CDS tools also there. So okay, ADT troubleshooting tools for CDS. Okay, let's see the CDS tools. First is data preview. We know it very well. If you execute a fate, then it will just show the data which the CDS provides you. The second thing is annotation propagation, which means it will tell you what are the annotations, it's coming from from which view. Okay, this I view might be using different kind of CDS views, right? Where there could be some other annotations would be there. So what annotations are propagated from which view, you can use this. Active annotation. Active annotation is something it will tell you for the current view what are the annotations are there. Like we can see this like clearly, like there are like metadata allow extension is there, end user is there, church is there, and yeah, default church elements true, it's assigned to this travel ID. Consumption value head definition annotation is there, object model is there. So we can see this directly, but if you want to see it in a tabular way, it will help you to provide it. So you can do this right click and you can able to choose whatever options you want to see. Okay. Dictionary log, which tells you syntax error. If CDS has some issues, it will tell you quickly in the dictionary log. Activation graph is something like let's say you are working on some CDS view and you are changing something. You are not sure what are the CDS view it has been used. You can use the various list also, but if you use this activation graph, it will list you all the CDS views, which could be affected. Okay, I haven't much used this, but yeah, this is what I understood from the activation graph. Yeah. So, okay, finally, we are into the summary part. Okay, so what are the key takeaways? ABAP Cloud it's a development model. Okay, make it clear, it's a development model which help you to create a cloud-ready enterprise services, apps, and extension. Okay, it started with SAP BTP ABAP environment, and finally, it's in the all S/4HANA versions, even in the on-premise systems. Okay, so the RAP is the heart of our cloud. Okay, so this RAP is something which help you to build transactional data services, nothing else. Okay, if you want a transactional application, you can use a RAP. Okay, otherwise, if you're creating some other service like analytical services or something, RAP will not be much helpful there. Okay, not sure. Today, the RAP is the heart of our cloud. Tomorrow, if SAP comes up with a different framework, then it could be a different X or something, right? So RAP is one of the framework to create a transactional data services, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a best support for SAP, as we know that SAP HANA database and SAP Fiori element side. So RAP is available on all the three layers, even in the on-premise system as well. It's this edition like 1909, but I would see a very good features available after 2021. Okay. Yeah, what are the releases, right? This ABAP Cloud release will happen, basically quarterly for a cloud SAP BTP environment and S/4HANA cloud public cloud systems. For private cloud, it's twice a week. Okay, and for on-premise, it's a per week, per year. Not twice a week. Sorry, I just only said it for twice a year for the private edition. And for the on-premise, it's like one time per year, I guess. I'm not sure this is what they have mentioned in the this time. I think it's 2022, I guess this slides belongs to. But yeah, the data could be wrong. So you can do your own research on this part. Okay. Very important thing, you can see the SAP standard code and you can play around with it. Okay, so we can use the demo flight. Most of the people who are teaching this RAP, it start with this flight applications, right? It's a pretty very popular one, because even SAP's explain the RAP concepts with this flight concepts, right? They have good GitHub resources as well. If you get a chance, check it out. But if you have some fresh system and you are not sure like what is the RAP and everything is confusing, you want to see some behavior definition, you want to see some behavior implementations, so then you can choose this package, put it in the favorite package, and you can see what are the things you can develop with the RAP, right? And very importantly, if in case this is not available in your current system, and if you have a privilege, you can just get it download it from the GitHub. It's open source, it's free. So okay, you can connect with the GitHub and you can download it all, right? So Fiori elements futures. Okay, so you would able to SAP is investing a lot of features in the SAP Fiori element side to avoid the custom code part. So yeah, it depends on the use cases or requirements. If it is fit in this Fiori elements, then we can definitely use this. Like most of the popular one is list report page, and we have analytical list pages there. That is also quite popular, right? And what else is that? And very important, this is for a certified developer. Okay, if you are looking for ABAP Cloud certified, then you can just use this link. Okay, basically I have opened. I'll just give me a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna just give me a moment. Yeah. So hopefully it is visible. Yeah. So this is the certified associate backend developer ABAP Cloud. It's basically for it's for 25/7. Okay, it's for July 2025. Okay, so you will get 80 questions for 3 hours, and you need to pass with 65% credit score. You don't need to basically for preparation. It's very simple. You just need to just use only this learning journey. Okay, if you just click this, it will take you this acquiring core ABAP skills. So just try to prepare this. So this is more than enough to clear it. I think one more topic will be the learning technical profile certification. Okay, I think they have changed it. So this is the only one. Fine. So yeah, only thing is you need a subscription. If you have this subscription, you need to renew it every year. If your company providing it, so yeah, definitely it will be helpful. You can just use the subscription, and you can get the certifications. Actually, it's really helpful for interview stage. Yeah, let's go back. Mm, what else next? Okay, and finally we have some um, websites links which will be helpful for the getting the RAP or ABAP cloud with more details. So everything in one page. You can, if you are interested in specific thing, you can go ahead and see the details there, right? There are like in dedicated community page will be for ABAP development here, and for the SAP BTP community and S4HANA cloud community. So you can make use of it. Okay, if you have some questions or something, you can go to this community and you can ask a question to. You can just raise your doubt, or if you got stuck in your project, you can add your question star, and so the experts from the community will be answering your questions. So it will not be immediate, but yeah, depends on their availability, they will use it, but mostly you will get answers in 1 or 2 days actually. Yeah, so I would strongly recommend to use this, right? For any clarifications or any doubts, or if you got stuck somewhere, you feel free to use this community for your for your ongoing projects, right? Okay. And finally, we have like ABAP Cloud related guides. So these guides are already free and in their websites, SAP websites. You can choose this. You can download the document. You can read about it. So you will get to know about a lot of things in the extensibility side in the first two documents. Yeah, like it won't be a very detailed one, but you will get some overview idea about it. Okay, just give it a try, right? So with that, uh, we are completing the RAP overview series. So we have discussed about ABAP Cloud. We started with ABAP Cloud Foundations. Then we have seen ADTs, what's inside the ADTs. Then we have discussed about business object, right, and EML. Then we discussed about RAP, right. We have seen the architecture of the RAP, and we have seen like uh, the runtime phases, right? Like whether it's managed and versus unmanaged. We have seen, correct. And what else? And today we have covered about draft handling, testability, extensibilities, right? So this was really helpful. This presentation was really amazing. So thought it would help you as well. So if there's like, uh, yeah, share it with your colleagues or team. Like and subscribe for more videos. So thank you for watching and have a great day.